warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining for today's debate on the topic. This house believes that diversity should be free. My name is Nayla, and I'll be serving as your moderator for this debate. In today's debate, we will hear from two teams. The affirmative team, who will argue in favor of the motion, and the negative will argue against it. Each team has 3 members who will present structured arguments and respond to each other's points. Before we begin, let me briefly outline the rules and structure for today's debate. Each speaker will be given a specific time to speak. The first speaker 4 minutes, second speaker 4 minutes, and third speaker 4 minutes. And after the debate, there will be a reply speech. Now, let's get into the debate. I will invite the first speaker in the affirmative team to open the case for the opening argument. You have 4 minutes to talk. The floor is yours.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Shalom, Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, salam kebajikan kita semua. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, the members of this house. Good morning, Ms. Dinda, honorable judges, and our XII MIPA. Thank you for the opportunity that has been given to us. Today we are going to deliver you our speech. First, let me introduce our team. I am Naura the first speaker, and our second speaker is Fauzi Ilham, and third speaker is Shafa Aulia. Next, I will like to give information today about this house belief that university education should be free. Honorable judges, definition of university is a college consisting of a number of faculties that provide academic and vocational education in a number of sciences, technology, and arts. Free universities refer to a system, the cost of attending higher education institutions such as tuition fees, registration fees, and other educational expenses is fully covered by the government of the public funding. The school students pursue degrees without the financial burden, with the government assuming a responsibility for the cost of running of the universities, including faculty salaries, campus facilities, and research funding. Point number 1. My estimate theory, there are many facts that explain why college or education fees should be free for anyone, and I will summarize the several points that I will discuss today. Compulsory education in Indonesia currently 20 years, starting from elementary school, middle school, and to high school. However, the government plans to implement 13 of compulsory education in 2025. There are still many children who have extraordinary potential who are wasted because their economic factors are insufficient to go to school in Indonesia. The data shows at the high school level, the dropout rate in Indonesia is at 30%. In cities, the school dropout is 26%, and the village it is 43%. Several factors cause high school dropout rate in Indonesia, including economy, low parental background, lack of parental attention, lack of student, and interest in school. Therefore, our estimate theory as the team pro, I fully support the debate motion in this morning. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you. Now I invite the first speaker from the negative team to present their opening argument. You have 4 minutes to talk.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Dear ladies and gentlemen, before we debate our motion this afternoon, allow us to introduce ourselves. I'm Naura from Shafa Aulia as the first speaker. My job is to formulate the argument of the affirmative team and provide the main arguments of the negative team. Kemudian is Alfian as the second speaker. His job is to strengthen opposition that have not been completely reflected the follow new arguments and provide evidence and deep analysis. Next, Talitha Safa ultimate task to emphasize the weakness of the affirmative team and strengthen the position of the counter team. The jury, as team we oppose the debate motion, this house believes that university education should be free. We firmly reject the debate motion. In 2015, Puan Maharani said that from the government, the compulsory program is 12 years old, and according to Article 34 of Law of Indonesia Republic number 20 of 2003, it states the government guaranteed free education is only in primary education. Speaker from the pro team may agree that access to education, especially higher education, should not be limited by an individual's financial capacity. However, it is important to remember that humans are also capabilistic beings, which means that not all research or educators are so noble as to teach for free. As a result, in the future there might be fewer lecturers or educators willing to teach in such a setting. Furthermore, if universities are made free, the budget will likely be more focused on education, leaving other sectors underfunded. In Indonesia, the number of students is very high, which will further inflate the budget. Free universities will become a significant burden on the national budget. In this situation, the government would have to relocate funds from other sectors like health, infrastructure, or security, which also require adequate funding. For instance, developing countries often have limited resources and more urgent budget priorities, such as health and infrastructure. Data from OECD, Organization of Economic Cooperation and Development, indicates that Indonesia, the government budget for education reaches 20% of the total national budget in 2020, amounting to around 505.8 trillion. Increasing funding for higher education fully could reduce the budget available for other sectors. On the other hand, in the United States, the cost of education per student can exceed $30,000 per year. Thank you.
Thank you. We will now hear from the second speaker of the affirmative. You have 4 minutes.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Fauzi Ilham. As a second speaker of affirmative team, we ask affirmative team fully support today debate motion that this house believes that university education should be free. Before I present my agreement, please allow me to present the rebuttals. Rebuttal is the first speaker from the negative team said university free will be inclusive to the money. Meanwhile, government regulation in 18 and 2022, Articles 18 and 81 implies that the central government and regional government finance education with a budget allocation of 20% of the APBN and or APBD. That means fully for education free. Now, let's move to our arguments. My argument is, this program will be very helpful for families who have poor economics. As previously explained by first speaker my team, still many children who can't continue to college because poor economics. Therefore, college should be free to improve education figures in our country. In Indonesia, many students with great potential are forced to forgo university due to the high cost of tuition. Free university will remove the financial barrier, enabling the students to pursue their academic and professional goals. Education is often viewed as a key pathway of property by making higher education accessible to everyone. Regardless of economic background, the state will be helped break the cycle of poverty. Families that previously could not afford to send their children to university will now be able to do so, leading to a more educated, skilled, and empowered generation. Honorable judges, from Article 34 4 of Law Number 20 of 2003, which shall the national education system stipulates that the central government and regional governments guarantee the implementation of the minimum compulsory education program at the basic education level without charging fees. Of these two laws, we can get a conclusion, namely that the government has prepared this program well, and our team is confident this free campus program will run effectively. And we as affirmative team fully support today debate motion. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you. Now I call upon the second speaker of the negative team to present their argument. You also have 4 minutes.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Alfian as the second speaker from the negative team. State that I disagree with the points made by the second speaker of the opposing team. My friends, logically, free university will not be possible and will not be efficient if it is done. There are many reasons why I thought like that. For example, if the university is free, who can guarantee that the quality of the teacher and graduates are also good? Can you be responsible for your thoughts if later that there are no teachers who wants to teach because of the little salary that they get? At the first speaker, I mentioned if universities are made free, it will become a significant financial burden on the country. I would like to emphasize again that each faculty is considered its own entity, and the allocation of funds differs because each faculty has its own needs and facilities. This will increase the budget significantly of our nation. Furthermore, many students who have received free scholarship are not responsible for the free education they are given. For example, according to data from the Ministry of Finance, around 1,413 LPDP alumni have not returned to the country. Based on this evidence, free education can backfire on the government, as the result may be wasted. Additionally, paid education certainly has a different quality compared to free education in terms of treatment, facilities, and teaching staff. Regarding teacher, it is clear that they are not just ordinary bachelor degree holders. They are teaching staff with at least master degree, which naturally requires higher salary. Remember, humans are also capitalistic beings, which means they need money too. Furthermore, while free education can open doors to greater opportunities, it is not a guarantee that all students who earn a degree will be successful. In fact, many other factors determine one's success in the workforce, such as interpersonal skills, work experience, and the ability to adapt to the job market. Yes, please.
You said many universities have bad quality from the teacher. The fact, many universities have good quality too.
Free education is an illusion of utopian socialism. That making university free is concept that may be seen fair, but is unrealistic in practice. Maybe many university free and good, but we see the university or college in the other nation, there is no free. All of them is paid. Next, many people assume that higher education is a basic right, but in reality, university is more of a personal choice. As not everyone feels, university is their desired path, even if it's free. In Germany, although higher education is almost free, data shows that only about 55% of high school graduates choose to go to university. most prefer a vocational education pathway or go straight into the workforce. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you. Next, we have the third speaker from the affirmative team. You have 4 minutes.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Shafa Aulia. I'm the first speaker affirmative. Okay, result and term. And the result and present that investment in education in will pay off through increased productive and social productivity and income solid and positive steps for national growth and economic. Okay. Definition of a university is a college consisting of a number of faculties that produce academic and vocational education is a number of science, technology, of art. Several factors cause the high school to draw rating Indonesia in study. Economy, low control background, lack of control, and lack of students in school. Okay, these three, higher education will improve the workforce and increase national productive and seen in countries is, for example, Germany and Scandinavian nations. They belong that with proper fiscal management, the campus will not be a burden but as a support nation progress. Free college will benefit student community, raise education levels, and reduce unable academic instruction and still be applied to mental activity and opportunities down the school by producing graduates who are ready for the work and employment will describe an economy completely will be like. Thank you.
Thank you. Now I invite the third speaker from the negative team to present their argument. You have 4 minutes.
As the third speaker, Talitha Safa, here I will emphasize why free university education can have serious consequences for the country. First, regarding to the financial burden on the country, according to a report from the World Bank, the Indonesian government's expense on education reached about 3.6% of its gross domestic product, or we call it GDP, in 2022, with a total education budget allocation of 612.1 trillion rupiah. It shows that the education budget is already significant. But further, increasing the budget to fully fund free higher education will force the government to cut funding from other equally important sectors such as health and social welfare. For example, Indonesia's health sector received a budget allocation of 193.2 trillion rupiah in 2022. If the education budget is increased without additional national revenue, sectors like health could lose critical funds needed for pandemic response, healthcare facility development, or the provision of healthcare services in remote areas. This will undoubtedly endanger the development of the other vital sectors. Second, regarding the risk of declining educational quality, according to data from UNESCO in 2021, the student-to-teacher ratio in Indonesia was already quite high, at around ratio 1:33, meaning one lecturer must teach 33 students. Of the number of students increased sharply due to free higher education, while the number of lecturers and supporting facilities did not increase. This ratio could worsen. And if universities in Indonesia are forced to accept more students without acquire spending, increase in researches, class size will become larger, access to laboratories, libraries, and research facilities will become more limited, and the overall quality of education will decline. Third, in terms of responsibility of scholarship recipient, data from the Lembaga Pengelola Dana Pendidikan in 2023 shows that around 25% of foreign scholarship recipients have not returned to work in Indonesia after completing their studies. This shows that free education policies, including scholarships, are not always effective in producing tangible contribution to the country. Therefore, offering free education without strict mechanisms to ensure the return of contributions to the country will only burden the state's finances without proportional returns. From this data, we can see that a free university policy will exacerbate the country's budget problems, lower the quality of education, and not guarantee positive contribution from its graduates. Thank you.
Thank you. After the debate, now it's time for the reply speech. First thing to give the reply speech is the negative team. Now, I invite the negative team to give their reply speech.
As for the argument from the plaintiff, but we from the constraint still think that university shall not be free. University is not basic right. It's a choice, and not everyone is to such it. Making university lyrics critic and affirmative generation where there are too many graduates with the same degree, but not enough job opportunities. As has happened in some countries with free education systems. In addition, free universities may lower the quality of education due to budget concerns, which impacts facilities, lecturer salaries, and other resources. Making education free will also put a significant burden on the state budget, which could be at the expense of other important sectors such as health and infrastructure.
Thank you.
And now I invite the affirmative team to give their reply speech.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, the member of this house. Good morning, Mr. Dinda, as honorable judges and Hawasyafina. For the first one, the definition of a university is a college consisting of a number of faculties that have the provide academic and professional education in a number of science, technology, or arts. There are many children who have extraordinary potential who are wasted because their economic factor and insufficient to go to school in Indonesia. The data shows at the high school level, the dropout rate in Indonesia is 30%, and the cities school dropout their rate is 26%, and while in the village is 43%. Several factors of the high school dropout rate in Indonesia, including economy, low parental background, lack of parental attention, lack of student interesting in the school. Therefore, our esteemed jury as the pro team fully support the debate motion in this morning. Free university education is a transformative policy that has potential to address multiple societal and economic challenges in Indonesia. It will help bridge the gap between different socio-economic groups, ensuring that education is a right accessible to all, not just a privilege for the wealthy. In addition to promoting equality, free higher educational will increase the nation education level, leading to a more competitive workforce and thriving economy. Thus, investing in the universities is investment in the future of a nation. From Article 34 of Law Number 20 of 2022, which says the national education system stipulates that the central government and regional government guarantee the implementation of the minimum compulsory education from program at the basic educational without charging fees. Therefore, our state esteemed jury, as the team pro, I fully support this debate motion in this morning. Thank you.
As we come to the end of this debate, I would like to thank both teams for their insightful arguments and dedication. Today, we have explored both sides of the motion. This House believes that university should be free, gaining a deeper understanding of its complexities and impact. We appreciate the efforts to engage us and each other respectfully and patiently. To our audience and judges, thank you for your attention. thinking. And with that, we conclude today's debate. Thank you everyone, and let's give one last round of applause to our debaters.